What's good, guys? So I got a new board yesterday, as you can see, and I thought I would make a video to show you guys exactly how to grip a skateboard. When I first started skating, I didn't really have anybody to show me, so I kind of just learned like by trial and error. So today I'm going to show you how to grip this board in pretty much 4 easy steps. So let's get it going. Alright, so first things first, you need some basic tools. Usually whatever I use whenever I grip a board is a drill to route out the holes after I'm finished. That way it prevents getting stress cracks. It helps me break in my board quicker. You need the screwdriver or some form of metal, just so whenever you're sanding, it makes it easier to cut. And then of course you need your razor blade to cut the grip. Alright, so step 1 is applying the grip to the board. This is probably like the hardest part of the whole thing. You know, because you pretty much get one shot unless you barely touch it and you can remove it. So I usually start off just by like cleaning the board off. And then what you're going to want to do is remove the backing like so. Just like this. And don't get rid of the paper because we're going to use that later. Alright. So what I always do is I hold the grip in the middle on both ends just like this. And I hold it tight. And the trick is hovering it over the board and holding it pretty straight. You want to make sure that it doesn't, you don't put it on too short or too far on one side. So I usually have my fingers in the middle and I touch the tip of my hand on the edge and I hover over it and I slowly drop. Make sure it's in the right place and then you just guide it downward like so. Yeah, just like that. So this next part, obviously there's a lot of room. So the easiest way to get all the air out, I usually start with my hands. I put them together like this. I start at the middle. And you lightly push in, starting from the middle. That way you don't get any folds at the ends over here. I start off real light, just like this. Seems to be going well so far. Luckily, I kind of messed up on my last one and I had a fold right here on the end. It looked kind of ugly. All right, cool. So now we got this piece, this step done. This is step 1, which is applying the grip. All right, step 2 is making sure there's no air left, you know, and this is whenever we use the paper. So I usually get something like a credit card. You could use your fist too. I usually do a mixture of things. You just get a simple credit card, right? And you lay the paper on top like this. And what I do is I sit here and I press out all of the air bubbles, help it get its shape. So after you do that, I usually do an extra little bit of rubbing with my fist, just across the whole thing, help get rid of the air, like I said. Okay, so that's step 2. All right, moving on to step 3 now, which is sanding and smoothing out these edges right here, preparing for the cut. So what I do is I get this screwdriver like I showed earlier, and you just run it along the sides. This helps your blade glide through the grip easier whenever you cut. So you just do this around the whole board. It took me a couple tries to get like a technique down, but practice makes perfect, you know. You just gotta go for it. Okay, so that's step 3. Step 4 is gonna be whenever you cut and finally sand the sides. So you get your razor blade. And I know they say you're not supposed to cut towards you, but honestly, it's like the easiest way for it to, for the blade to slide. And what I usually do is I grab a tip of the grip here. You want to keep it kind of slanted so it glides easier. Okay, so you got it like that. I usually put some weight and I hold the corner. I keep that nice angle. And then you just pull up on the grip while you cut, like so. This part's a little tricky also. All right. You could also do it like this. Just a disclaimer, this is just how I do things. You know, there's other methods to setting up your board. You know, whatever works best for you, it's definitely what you should do. You don't have to get it all in one piece. It just looks cooler if you do it. Okay. Almost done. Piece. Just like that. So this next part, cutting and sanding, what you can do is you just take a piece of the grip and you fold it like this. And you're going to want to sand down these edges. That way it doesn't peel back so easily. Alright, so I'll hold it this way for you guys. Didn't do so bad. Just poking out the holes and routing them out so your trucks glide through them a lot easier. So what we can do is just get like a screw from your previous trucks and just push them like so through the holes. And hold down the corners just like that. Take it back out. Do each one. All right, that's that. So this routing part is just a personal preference. A lot of people just slap their trucks on just like this, but like I said, if you route out the holes a little bit, it helps receive your trucks easier and it helps prevent stress cracks. You know, the screw's able to go a little bit more sunken in. So you just take a drill and like a Phillips head and you just route it out a little bit. Do that to each one. Alright guys, and then you are good to go. It seems like I did pretty decent on this one. Didn't come out too bad, just how I like it really. So now all you need to do is set up your board and go skate, man.